This is Calculus 2, section 7.1, area between or under curves. Between, if we have two curves. Under means the area under one curve, meaning from the top of the curve to y equals 0. You should work on problems 5 to 10. On these problems, you get a graph where you can clearly see the intersections between the two lines. Problems 15 to 28, you don't get a graph, therefore you must find such an intersection by using algebra. There's a lot of factoring here. You need to know factoring to find these points of intersection. There are many posted solve problems, check them out. Here is example 2, page 446. We have this graph. I put a circle on XA, a circle on XB. I must find these points of intersection by using algebra. We know what this line is. It passes at a 45-degree angle at the origin. Therefore, this line is y equals x. You must know the lines from pre-calculus. This is an upside down parabola. Here lies y equals 2. Therefore, this is minus x squared plus 2 because it's raised to 2. Now I have these two lines. Now I know from algebra that one line minus the other line equals 0 allows me to solve for x. It does not matter which one you pick to be first. So I'm just picking minus x squared plus 2 minus the second line, which is that minus x. This is going to equal 0. Now I have a parabola. I'm going to rearrange it. Minus x squared minus x plus 2 equals 0. Now, a lesson you learned from factoring, never factor if you have a negative on the x squared. You don't want to deal with that, it's much harder. Therefore, we want to pull out the negative. Pull out the negative, I just pulled it out. And at this moment, we distribute, we get positive x squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. Now we go back to algebra. Okay, the parabola is x squared plus x minus 2. We want to know two numbers that multiplied gives minus 2. There are two numbers that multiplied gives minus 2, added give plus 1. Well, this has to be minus 2. This has to be minus 1 and plus 2. Note that. Plus 2 minus 1. If I multiply, I get minus 2. If I add, I get plus 1. This is the factoring. You need to know AC factoring, and this is simplified AC factoring. Therefore, we conclude that this is actually x plus 2 and x minus 1 equals 0. At this moment, we set these parentheses to 0, and I get that x is minus 2 and x is plus 1. I found, therefore, the points of intersection where this point of intersection I'm pointing to is 1. Here is the x1. And the other point of intersection is x minus 2. I go up, and this is minus 2. Now, it's simple. I set my integrals, which goes from minus 2 to plus 1. You remember from Calc 1, the bottom limit is the lowest value and the top limit is the highest value. Okay? Now, this is area under the curve. So what we are going to do here, we're going to take one curve minus the other dx. So minus x squared minus x plus 2 dx. And now we integrate this. This is going to give minus x cubed over 3 minus x squared over 2 plus 2x, and the limits are from minus 2 to 1. Now, from Calc 1, we know that this is the integral endpoint b minus the integral beginning point a. This means you're going to plug a 1 for the entire result, and you find the number. Minus, you're going to plug a minus 2 to the entire result, and you're going to find the number. This process is basically plugging the 1, writing down the number. Minus, don't forget, minus, plugging the 2, writing down the number, and finding the final answer, which will be 9/2. Be careful when you plug a negative. You're plugging a negative into the x. Note that the cube of minus 2, because it's an odd power, is minus 8. However, you have another minus that will make it plus 8. A lot of mistakes happen during the plugging of these values. Make sure you don't make any mistake. I suggest you do this. Parentheses minus parentheses. Here, you plug all the values for f of b. Okay, b is the endpoint, which in this case is number 1. Minus inside the parentheses all the values for f of a. A is the lowest point, which is the minus 2. And again, the answer is 9/2. Double check this. This is a neat example because it allows you to not only test if you know the equation of the line, it also allows you to test the algebra, the factoring, you find the intersection points, you do the integral, you plug one positive, you plug one negative, and you must get 9/2. Now, go to the book and work on problems 5 to 10, 15 to 28. Check out the solved problems on Schoology, and have a good day.